And we're gonna have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap danced with Danny fucking Kaye. And when Santa squeezes his fat white ass down that chimney tonight, he's gonna find the jolliest bunch of assholes this side of the nut house.
Don't wait till the night before Christmas to be good.
I know one of those things. Man, these things fill up the room with smoke quick.
Yep. And to your earlier point, Andrew.
Yes, I do think peace in the Middle East is possible.
Rubbish! And then I can't stand all these fucking people who dress up for Christmas.
Yes, Christmas is a dastardly affair. Bah humbug to it all.
You guys just get such nice pulls and I can't keep mine lit.
Mine is like nothing. I don't even need to fucking breathe and it gives these fucking things.
Yeah, you packed her too full, I think, Brad.
Jesus, like look at these things. I'm not even fucking... I'm a fucking dragon over here. Like, this is blowing my mind. Jeez.
My pipe must be wore out.
It's one of those pre-worn pipes that you can buy.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 98 of the Prehistoric podcast. After a short hiatus, we're back in black.
We finally got over the hangover from episode 12.
Yes, that you never saw.
That you never will see.
I guess that's what we're talking about. So, as is tradition, we didn't finish the 12 podcasts of Christmas.
We started.
We actually did finish, technically. Like they were filmed.
And mostly edited.
The issue with last year's 11th and 12th podcast, I think, the 12th one especially, was the 12th one ran about 4 hours too long.
And a certain unnamed individual, someone who shall remain nameless, got a little out of control. Forced some things that maybe shouldn't have been said to be said. Things that legally couldn't be talked about were talked about.
Yeah, legally, we could be held responsible for things. I don't know.
Some people signed some NDAs and
we broke those NDAs almost immediately.
Well, we didn't break them. We would have been breaking them.
I guess we didn't write an NDA. They broke the NDAs. We just facilitated.
They could have broken them had we...
Oh, I see, yes. Anyways, you didn't see, nor shall you ever see, the 12th podcast of 2017. But we're back again.
For the 5th edition, we figured out. This is the 5th year.
Where's your 5th one? Most celebrity relationships don't get even nearly that long. Anyways, as always, I'm one of your hosts, Francois the Nation.
I'm Andrew Sorsdahl.
You'd love to know, wouldn't you? What's the man in the deer sweater going to say? He's been sitting there quietly, enjoying Canadian winter.
As always, this podcast is brought to you by Sweet Sippin' Canadian Maple Whiskey.
Mm.
Better in winter than it is in the summer. Smooth.
So I guess just to kick things off with, why has there been such a hiatus from the podcast? We haven't really been cranking out content like we have in previous years. But
Well,
there's a very good reason for that.
Francois' AIDS diagnosis hit us all very, very hard.
Well, me the hardest, I would say.
Of course. Well,
I don't know.
We've been really
Sometimes
helping.
it's the people that you reach and touch.
I guess
We've
once
really
I'm
been
dead, I
helping
won't
him.
really care anyways.
We've really been trying to help him lead as normal of a life as possible, and that's taking up a lot of our time.
Yes, it's quite difficult actually with all the drugs I have to take, the doctor's visits to try to maintain a semblance of a normal life. But they're giving it a hell of a go. But age is no laughing matter.
It's quite aggressive.
Well, goddamn thing. It's not packed tight enough, then it's packed too tight.
We need to get one of those little scratch things like they have in the Lord of the Rings movies. Get all the old tobacco out of there.
Try this again. This year we'll be bringing you 12 half-hour episodes.
Yes.
Format will be a little different, and it'll only just be us smoking pipes. We're not going to talk.
Mostly. Well, there'll be it's more like pipe smoking broken up with occasional conversation.
Yeah. And this year we're not really planning on making a big show out of the drinks like we have in previous years, except for episode 12 will be a bit of a hoogananny.
You won't see it, but it'll be.
It'll be a wild time.
Yeah, you'll
off camera.
You'll never see it, but rest assured it'll be the funniest thing you never saw.
It's like most of that. That should be our fucking. That's our motto for all of our content. It's the funniest thing you never saw.
Francois, why don't you give us a little history on the pipes here
History?
before we go into complete silence for another 5 hours and 45 minutes?
Oh, mine's fucking went out. God damn it. Sure, I'd be glad to. So recently, my beautiful girlfriend and I.
You know, the producer of the program.
That's Kevin.
Yeah, you
Kevin's
and
not my
Kevin
girlfriend.
went on a trip.
Kevin and I, the producer of this program, Kevin and I went on a lovely trip to Ireland in late summer. First we visited Dublin, which was quite nice. Then we went over to Galway for a couple of days, and then we went down to Cork. And anyways, while we were in Galway, I was kind of like just keep my eye open for little trinkets and gifts that I could bring back from the beautiful country. And anyways, in Galway is just an incredible shopping city, and I spied in one of the quaint little shops that pipes, I guess, are a pretty Irish, like a traditional Irish gift. And they've got a type of tree there, wood, that's very famous for pipe. I can't exactly remember what it's called, but anyways, so I picked up Andrew and Brad, 2 nice pipes from Galway, Ireland, and then just today they picked me up a pipe from Saskatoon, which is not in Ireland. I think it might be
Pass me the
like
matches,
an Isle of
Brad.
Skye. Or the Isle of Skye.
Francois, or you have the matches? I don't have any matches.
On the floor.
Today's episode brought to you by Sigs Inside.
Sigs Inside? What's that?
If it's going to be cold out, why don't you have your Sigs inside?
That's funny. But damn if these things aren't hard to keep lit.
I've got mine going now. It's very much about how much you pack it.
Very similar to like starting a fire. There needs to be enough wood to keep it to get it going and keep it going, but you can't have so much that there's no oxygen flow for the.
Actually, Andrew, you you were comparing it earlier to packing a bowl for marijuana.
Yes.
Yes, I something I have very little experience with since legalization just occurred.
But now that you've hit the ground running anyway.
Well, not really. I more have people around me, I've seen them. I see them. I spy them. I see how they do it. I imitate. Well, I don't imitate. Excuse me. But I see what's
cultivate.
going on.
You innovate.
Cheers to being, I think, the second country in the world to fully legalize marijuana.
Yeah,
So in honor of that legalization, we're smoking tobacco.
To honor the legalization of marijuana, we bought pipes. They're smoking pipe tobacco.
because we don't believe in legalization. Tougher penalties for criminals, especially for those with drug possession.
And don't release the people who are in jail already for marijuana possession. They committed a crime when it was illegal, and they should fucking stay there.
Forever.
Andrew Scheer for Conservative leadership.
Andrew Scheer, the next Prime Minister of Canada.
This loses its flavor quickly. How about yours?
Not too bad. The flavor's pretty mild to begin with.
Damn it.
But I think I want Peaches and Queen next.
Peaches and Queen?
Now you're probably thinking to yourself at this point, this is getting boring, is watching these guys smoke pipes. Well then shut the fucking program off.
Shut the program off.
They already have.
If you want to, but if you're still watching,
God damn it.
shut it off. We don't care.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of all this. I want to try the other one.
We're very excited that for our 5th year, Sweet Sippin' Canadian Maple Whiskey decided to sponsor the program again.
Yes.
They went out of production for a while, and they came back strong, and we're excited about it.
Yes. Come on, you fucking thing. Well, here's the thing. Okay, so recently, all of us saw the film Bohemian Rhapsody.
Ooh, it's gonna be a tough one.
Tough one?
I really loved it.
I
The
didn't
Queen.
really loved it. I thought it was good.
The Queen biopicture. Really a Freddie Mercury biopicture. Didn't really have anything to do with Queen too much, but anyways.
Queen is Freddie Mercury, so.
No. Freddie Mercury.
That is kind of the point of the movie.
Freddie Mercury went solo, and then failed.
It wasn't like they did anything without him either.
Didn't
Yeah,
have
but
to. They were Queen.
I didn't have to. I went to Bohemian Rhapsody is a song by who?
The Beastie Boys, and that's from '91.
Bohemian Rhapsody is a song by the Beastie Boys, and for some reason was featured prominently in a movie that was set well before 1991. Didn't make any sense at all. Anyways, I have to say, I didn't like the movie. Like, really at all. There was moments in it that I thought were good. I enjoyed the very beginning, when they showed Freddie before Queen started. I enjoyed parts of the very end. I thought they really focused way too much on Freddie's sexuality, also his AIDS, which are like two givens at this point. It's like I think with a biopicture you have an opportunity to shed light on aspects of a band or a human being that might not be as common knowledge, so you can get a more intimate view out of a human being. But the two things that everybody knows about Queen is that the lead singer was gay and that he died of AIDS. And I went into that picture and left it with the exact same level of knowledge of Queen that I had. I didn't learn a damn thing. And I gotta say, focusing solely on Freddie Mercury, I think was a bit of a mistake. Because that would have been interesting. Because that is something that not everybody knows about. Not everybody knows about the other members of Queen. And that would have been an interesting route to take to like explain them and where they came from. And they really glossed over those characters. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think it was an effective biopicture.
Andrew, your rebuttal.
I don't know. I thought it served its purpose. I don't know. I didn't think it needed to be anything more than what it was. I had a good time. I think they for sure could. I don't necessarily disagree with any of your criticisms. They for sure could have delved deeper into a lot of that stuff. I agree that it might have been more interesting to see. Could have been interesting to see more about the other members of the band. That's a good point. I don't think they focus too much on the gay or the AIDS thing. I think that's just wrong. Because there are lots of people who said that it was a throwaway thing that they didn't really touch on. So I've read that criticism as well.
Somebody didn't obviously watch it.
The whole movie's about that. Like you get to
the second half of the movie, the second act of the movie is about.
I don't
that,
know if
sure.
I would say then that they just barely touched on it when it was half the film.
No, second act of the movie was about that. I mean, I think it probably was a major part of his life and a big influence on everything the Queen did, in terms of his songwriting and his contribution to the band, was him, like, struggling with his sexuality, and then he's gay, and then, yeah, I mean, the supposed inaccuracies are what bother me most, in terms of,
ouch,
what could they have done better? It's like, well, if there were inaccuracies, blatant inaccuracies that people close to him say, like, yeah, he wasn't going to the club to pick up a bunch of strangers every night and whatever, then okay, well, that's just like, why have that in the movie then if it's not true? So yeah, that bothered me. I thought Rami Malek's performance was really good. That's the thing that like stole the show for me. Was
I also disagree with that.
I just don't know what basis you would have to say that. But
I just don't think Rami Malek has much range. I think he plays a very specific role very well, which is the Mr. Robot role, in which he talks like a monotone.
He dominates it.
Huh?
He dominates it.
Oh yeah, it was perfect. It's like it was written for him. He talks very monotone. It's just like there was nothing he did in Bohemian Rhapsody that I wasn't like, this is just Mr. Robot. Like he's acting the same way. Like he has dentures in, but that was about it.
I didn't feel that way at all. I thought especially the subtlety that was conveyed with the.
Well, it's all very subtle.
With the
very subtle.
With the emotion in the scene where.
If you haven't seen Bohemian Rhapsody yet, we're spoiling it.
Well, everyone's either seen it, but this isn't getting released till next month, so it's out of theaters or whatever.
Same.
But the scene where he.
Just a heads up.
The scenes where he.
You don't see that.
He and his wife, like, that they're living in a separate house.
Yeah.
And like that subtlety of like he's lonely and he wants to like turn the light on, and there's like that. The differences in the emotion in those two scenes where he calls her and he's like kind of like nervously excited about like, turn your light on and off, and I can see you there and whatever, and then when he's later on when he like turns it on and she's not there and she doesn't turn her light on and he's sad and throws a party or whatever. I don't know. There's a few things in there. I can't think of specifics right now. It's been like, you guys just saw it. I saw it like weeks ago. I thought it was really good. I thought it was definitely a good thing that they cast him over Sacha Baron Cohen, because I don't think I could have at all taken Sacha Baron Cohen seriously in that role or in any role.
I think you're doing him a great service. I think he's a genius and a brilliant.
I think he's a brilliant comedy actor for sure.
I'm glad he wasn't in that movie because I think the material wasn't strong enough for him. I'm also very glad that Sacha Baron Cohen wasn't the star in that Queen biopicture. I do feel like he would have been a better fit for Freddie Mercury, just like his personality wise, and like.
I mean, I think the whole point is that there was Freddie Mercury and his personality that people saw on stage and who he was charismatically performing, and there was the Freddie Mercury who was behind all that. And I think that's what this movie succeeded at portraying, was that, yeah, there's Freddie, there's his, out there performing the happy guy, and then there's who he was, behind that and leading up to that. I thought it did a good job portraying that.
I guess one direct thing I'll draw from the film to try and support my dislike of his performance was near the end when he says, I am the best, I'm Freddie fucking Mercury. Then I was like, well, why didn't you act like that ever?
No, he said, I am the best, I am Freddie fucking Mercury.
Yeah. Like this.
Also watch Mr. Robot now on whatever streaming service.
Tubi.
On
So
Tubi.
I want to talk a little bit today about Tubi. If you haven't already canceled your Netflix subscription, you can just go to any browser. I guess you have to be on a digital device. If you go to your Netflix account, you can just go to account settings and you can actually just deactivate and stop charging because you won't need it anymore.
We recommend actually phoning Netflix directly and talking to a service provider, or whatever. Talking to one of their tech help people, and then getting them to deactivate it for you over the phone, and then trying to push Tubi onto the Netflix representative, because that's it. Honestly, I had my doubts big time when Brad came up to me. He's like, "Oh, there's this free streaming service called Tubi.
TUBI.
Much better than Netflix. The selection is crazy." And I said, "That's impossible. Netflix is fantastic." I'm a huge Netflix proponent. But anyways,
You were.
I was. The moment I saw Tubi and what it had to offer to me can kind of be summed up.
That's TUBI.
TUBI can kind of be summed up in 2 words, and that's Monster Rancher, as well as the 2 words Stan Helsing, if that means anything to you. So if I didn't just sell it to you, then you're a fucking lost cause. And
they've got big A-list directors, some of their early works.
Yes.
You won't find that on Netflix.
That actually was very surprising to me, and I actually got a kick out of that big time. So Peter Jackson, the one person that I stay alive for, he some of his earlier '90s works maybe unknown to some, but he did some like gory, splattery, ridiculous films back in the early '90s. Like his first one was called Bad Taste, and then there was Meet the Feebles. And both of those movies are on Tubi, 100% free to stream, and I will definitely be checking those out quickly, because they're not easy movies to find. In like,
I feel like we could get a
high
Tubi
quality
sponsorship.
Like, I don't disagree that we could contact Tubi and they'd probably be interested to hear what we have to say, but they don't make any money, so like how would they sponsor us?
Well, like they could just like give us $20.
Give us $20 and we'll say you sponsored us. Yeah, no, we could. Let's send them an email and see if they'll send us $20 in the mail.
Cash.
Car.
Today's episode brought to you by Tubi. I just got off the phone with Tubi.
I guess this is probably part 1, just about done, eh?
My watch doesn't work, so I really have no idea. When did we start?
It's 5 minutes beyond what the camera says, because we started at about 5 minutes after I started recording.
Okay, well, I don't know what the camera says.
I'm just saying when we see what the camera says, subtract 5 minutes, and that's the length.
That's
of
the
time.
actual. That's how.
That's 7 minutes. Let's say 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Because I said 5 when we sat down, then we dicked around for probably 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Windows open. That's different.
Windows open?
We usually don't have the window open during
Oh.
the podcast. You don't know it, but there's a window over there.
Yeah. We're not going to tell you why we have it open. Right.
We do.
It's important.
I'm really, really sick of smoking this pipe.
So this is like our grad party, but I got to sit with a cigar and lit it, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to have this nice cigar outside, then go inside. And then 4.5 hours later,
The cigar's finished.
lo and behold, it's not finished, and I'm still outside, freezing my fucking ass off, not wanting to throw the cigar away because it was a nice gift. That fucking sucked. Big cigars, like, they're meant to be, like, extinguished and then lit. Because, like, I challenge anyone to finish one of those fuckers in a sitting. You'd have to be the biggest baller who does fucking nothing all day if you're going to finish a fucking cigar in one sitting. They're ridiculous. Also, like, what's the shelf life on those things? Probably not very long. Probably a couple
You have a
months.
humidor, probably a couple months.
I've got some nice cigars from 2012.
They're moldier than fuck. You should just throw them out.
No, they're not moldy.
dry.
Like, I look,
Really
they're very
dry.
dry. Yeah. They're probably like, I bet they would light
Very nice.
very quickly, and then also create a thick black smoke. Like, if you were to start a fire with one of those fuckers, it would be the biggest fire you've ever seen.
$5:13. I can't remember when we sat down.
5:10. Can you imagine?
There's 3 minutes. Of them by.
I think probably 1:45 about.
Do you think we're almost time?
For first part 1, yeah.
Well, That was part 1. Stay tuned while we silently smoke pipes for 6 more hours. Can you imagine we did her in one shot and just smoked all this fucking pipe tobacco?
5.5 more hours. My head's starting to hurt from the fucking smoke.
Really?
I fucking... Good for people who can smoke all the time. Like Christ.
Shout out to Jane Sorsdahl.
Here's to you, Jane. You're back on the rock.
You're back on the rock. Pipe tobacco is now legal, and so there's no reason to not smoke it.
Ow.
Did you hit the microphone?
Yeah, we're 33 minutes, so like another 4 minutes.
Let's close it out with some would you rathers, Brad.
Okay. Would you rather... I got one for Fran.
Okay.
Do 9 shots of tequila back to back to back 9,
I would really hate that.
or see a double feature Bohemian Rhapsody, not in VIP, actually at the Rainbow.
Like I just have to see it twice in a row.
Yeah, in one sitting.
That movie feels fucking long. It's not a short movie either. How long did we say it
2
was?
hours, 15 minutes, something like that?
Like, it's not a short movie to begin
It'd be
with.
5 hours.
That was actually interesting when I saw that movie. I remember like an hour in, I was like, they glazed over so much stuff. This is a movie that deserves to be like 3 hours so you can get all that in there. Then, at the 2 hour, or whatever, probably hour and a half mark, I completely changed my tune. I'm like, when will this fucking movie end? It's been going on forever. It felt like a 3 hour long movie. And I mean, so 9 shots of tequila.
Yeah.
Which I have to do the back to back, so that's very quick. I'd be hammered drunk.
And you get like, the most you get in between each shots are 2 minutes.
That's pretty good. But I also hate the taste of tequila. I would be hammered drunk, probably have an awful hangover. I think Bohemian Rhapsody, probably. Because it's like I can sit there and eat popcorn and drink and go, yeah, like...
One small concession item.
What, for both double features? I get
Either
a small
drink-
drink and a small corn, but not both, or a candy, but not all 3.
and it's got to last me for about 5 hours.
Yeah. You can go to the washroom, no more than immediately running, using the urinal, and coming back.
I could just sleep.
No, you can't. You got to pay attention to the film.
I have to pay attention.
You're watching these movies. You're not just being in a room while they're being played.
Like, you have to watch it as if you are going to be doing, like, some type of a very detailed analysis
Like
or
an
review.
exam.
Yeah. But an exam that matters. Like, you actually have to do well.
Tequila's done in 10 minutes.
I paid pretty good attention the first time I saw them. Like, I bet I could maybe do pretty good on an exam right now.
No, but you have to watch as if you're writing an exam, not actually like, could you pass an exam?
I don't know. The tequila to me still seems like the worst bet. Like, that sucks. Like, I know, like, after, like, 2 or 3 shots, I would get used to the... No, I would probably puke. I would violently puke.
And then go back to shooting again.
I think I'd go with Bohemian Rhapsody still. I just, like... I can't... There's... The Bohemian Rhapsody, it's like... Okay, I gotta sit through this movie twice again, but... Like, nothing is negatively impacting my body in any way. It's like, I'm not... Like, and I could probably, like, if we made it into an analysis type deal, where so you have to analyze this film, there's these things that you missed the first time around that it's like you should pay attention to, some subtlety or subtext or something like that I could try to, like, think about, then yeah, maybe I could sit there and, like, find some more there that I didn't see before. I'd go with Bohemian Rhapsody. The 9 shots of tequila thing just... That sounds like shit. That sounds awful.
Okay,
Sounds like the last thing I want to do.
You going for me?
Yeah, sure. Would you rather have to subscribe to your mom's house Facebook group for a year
And pay attention and,
and
actively contribute.
follow? You don't have to contribute. You have to like have it set so you see their posts through your feed all the time. And you have to go on Facebook the same amount you normally do.
Okay.
Or you have to watch Bohemian Rhapsody again. Every day.
Whoa.
No, not every day. Just have to watch Bohemian Rhapsody again. That's a tough one, I know.
No, I would watch Bohemian Rhapsody.
It's like watch the worst movie ever made, or
It's not the worst movie ever made. I like the hey-o.
Hey-o.
I like that.
That's another thing that's worth mentioning. Remy Malek's voice, it's like one of those things that when it cuts to him singing and when he's not singing, it's like, in no world do I think that voice is coming out of that man's fucking
No.
head. It's like, it doesn't sound even remotely. And there's that part they should not have put in the movie.
See, to me, like I totally bought him as Freddie. Like I wasn't like, there's Remy Malek as whatever.
Mr. Robot?
I'm like, that's Freddie. Like I bought into it. Like I didn't.
He had the look, I would say, except for except for he has that he doesn't blink,
saddlebag
which
eyes.
is really upsetting. And he doesn't, like, Kenneth Purple's pupils dilate. People's pupils are meant to dilate, like they're supposed to change in size and could depend on it. But it's like it's weird that his eyelid, he doesn't blink, and his pupils don't dilate at all.
Andrew, would you rather?
But he looked like him, kind of.
Would you rather?
And he's sort of brown, which helped a lot.
Would you rather be locked in solitary confinement with Jane for 3 weeks a day after she quit smoking, or dig 1,200 mango worms out of your 2 forearms?
1,200?
That's just like, my arms just aren't even arms anymore. It's just like I just go like this, and mango worms falling out of my arm.
600. They're small.
They get pretty big though when they eat.
3 weeks solitary confinement. Like, not only are you with your crazy mother because of the nicotine withdrawal, but you're also like in solitary.
What do you mean, like how can
Like in
I
a
be both
jail,
at the
like
same time?
4 concrete walls, door slides open, fucking grub slides in, door slams.
And Jane and I are in the cell.
Yeah, and she can't have a fucking cigarette.
I would take anything other than that.
Like, bring on the
I
man.
also don't care who it is. Anyone after quitting smoking.
Yeah, that's true. I can't
I'm just
imagine.
saying,
It's
like,
not mutually exclusive to Jane.
no, I understand that, but you like having a relationship with your mother.
That too, yeah. I don't
It's
want to spend
true.
3 weeks with anyone I'm that close with.
The worst thing about mothers is that they raised you in all your most. They've seen you in all your worst moments, as like a child and hissy fits and stuff. So it's like they just have endless ammunition to tear you to shreds. And if they're quitting smoking, then it's like
The mango worms would be tough, though.
would it? It would hurt, but you get it done in like one.
No,
go.
I would puke and pass out. I don't know if I could dig them out.
No.
I'd do it.
Whoa! Look at how long that one's lasting. Whoa! That was pretty cool.
Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. We're just going to let the camera roll.
Ayo.
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 We shouldn't mention that terrible piece of garbage anymore. Next thing.